One day she's packing school lunches and falling asleep next to you on the couch. A few years later, she's on her phone every night. New clothes, new friends, and a new attitude you've never seen before. You look at the woman in your kitchen and you swear she has your wife's face, but the energy is completely different. If you're a man in your 30s or 40s, you've either lived this or you know a guy who has. Tonight, I'm not here to bash women. I'm here to explain what actually happens when some women hit that 38 to 45 window, and why so many men get blindsided by the same script again and again. Part 1. The moment she feels the shift. Let's start with her, not you. For most of her life, your wife has been measured by two things: how much she's desired and how much she's needed. In her 20s, it was attention, men staring, DMs, options. She didn't have to think about it, it was just there. In her 30s, it shifted. Babies, house, routines. Her value became taking care of everyone. She became mum, wife, the responsible one. Then, somewhere between 35 and 45, the ground under both of those identities starts to crack. The kids are older. They don't need her every second. The mirror is less forgiving. The algorithm is feeding her 20-year-olds with filters, travel, soft life, you deserve more. And one day she looks at her life and feels something she hasn't let herself feel in a long time. Is this it? Is this all I get? That feeling is not evil, it's human. Men get their own version when they stare at the ceiling at 3 a.m., wondering where their 20s went. The difference is how each person reacts to that internal earthquake. Part 2. The 4 stages of her shift. For a lot of guys, it feels like their wife just woke up one morning and went crazy. Reality is usually slower and more subtle. Stage 1. Nostalgia. She starts talking about the old days, not your shared memories, her solo memories. Stories from college, ex-boyfriends, wild trips, nights out. Watch her eyes. If she talks about her past with a little smile and a faraway look, instead of a "thank God that's over," she's not in the present with you. She's auditioning a different life in her head. Stage 2. The glow-up for the internet, not for you. New clothes, new gym routine, new hair. At first, you're proud. She's taking care of herself. But then outfits slide a little younger, a little tighter. The selfies multiply. The captions get vague and emotional. Healing era. Becoming her. Soft life only. She's not just changing how she looks. She's testing how much attention she can still pull. Stage 3. Emotional distance. Suddenly, everything in the house feels offbeat. She's tired. She needs space. There's more girls' nights, more wine, more headphones in. She stops bringing you her problems. She stops asking for your opinion. Arguments turn into courtroom transcripts, dates, times, every mistake you've ever made. That's not a random mood swing. That's someone building a case in their head about why they feel empty and why it must be you. Stage 4. The rewrite. If she decides the answer to her emptiness is burn it all down, something dark happens. The last 10, 15, 20 years get rewritten. I was never really happy. You never supported me. I've been dying inside for years. You sit there staring at pictures and memories that prove that's not true. But it doesn't matter. She needs you to be the villain so she can be the hero in the new story she's telling herself. Part 3. How men usually self-destruct. Here. Now let's talk about you, because this is where most men throw gasoline on the fire. When your wife starts shifting like this, your nervous system goes into panic. You feel shame, confusion, rage, fear of losing your kids, your home, your whole life. And in that panic, most men do one of 3 things. Number 1, the beggar. You blow up her phone, long paragraphs. "We can fix this. I'll change. Tell me what I did wrong." You start love-bombing your own wife. Flowers, trips, gifts, not from a grounded place, but from terror. To her nervous system, this doesn't read as love. It reads as confirmation that she's the prize and you're the one auditioning. Number 2, the exploder. You snap, you yell, you say things you can't unsay. You stalk her socials, interrogate her about every notification, try to lock everything down. Congratulations, you just gave her friend group and her therapist all the ammunition they need to label you controlling and toxic. Number 3, the zombie. You pretend nothing's wrong. You bury yourself in work, gaming, porn, anything to not feel it. You're physically still in the house, mentally checked out. By the time you wake up, she's already decided, and you're the last to know. Part 4. What's actually underneath her behavior? Here's the part most red pill content won't tell you. Under all the drama, the wine nights, the new clothes, there is usually one simple emotion driving everything. Fear. Fear of aging. Fear of being invisible. Fear that life peaked at 27 and it's all downhill from here. That fear is not uniquely female. Men numb it with work, money, younger women, fast toys. Women numb it with validation, new chapters, and sometimes burning down good things just to feel alive again. None of that excuses betrayal. It just explains why logic alone doesn't work here. You can't debate someone out of an identity crisis. You can't out-romantic a woman who is addicted to the high of feeling chosen again. What you can do is stop lying to yourself about what's in front of you. Part 5. Your frame. When your wife starts to change. So what does a grounded man actually do when he sees these signs? First, drop the fantasy. Stop telling yourself it's just a phase if the evidence says otherwise. Pay attention to patterns, not promises. Look at actions, not captions. Second, calm, direct conversation. Not a 3-hour interrogation, not a screaming match. One calm conversation where you lay out what you see. I notice you're more distant. I notice more secrets around your phone. I notice more nights out and less time with us. Then you listen. Really listen. If she's willing to own her feelings and work with you, that's one path. If she only blames, deflects, and attacks, that's another. Third, know your non-negotiables. Every man needs a line where his self-respect stands, even in marriage. I don't accept secret emotional relationships with other men. I don't accept being constantly disrespected in front of the kids. I don't accept you rewriting our entire history as abuse because you're unhappy today. You don't scream these. You state them once, clearly, from a grounded place. Boundaries are not about controlling her. They are about controlling what you will and will not stay for. Fourth, quietly protect yourself and the children. If you feel the marriage might really be heading towards separation, this is where you stop thinking like a boyfriend and start thinking like a father and a man. Talk to a lawyer, even if you never end up using one. Know your rights. Understand finances. Document important things. This is not war. This is not revenge. This is making sure that if the ship sinks, you and the kids have life jackets. Fifth, rebuild your own center. The most dangerous lie this whole situation whispers into your ear is, you weren't enough. If you weren't perfect, join the rest of us. But her crisis is not a scientific report on your worth as a man. So you go back to fundamentals: sleep, training, work, mission, male friends who actually tell you the truth, therapy or coaching if you need it. There's no shame in getting help when your entire life is shaking. Whether she stays or leaves, you will need that spine. Part 6. If the relationship is salvageable. Not every woman in her 40s blows up her family. Some feel the same fear and choose a different path. If you have a wife who is honest about her panic, willing to own her part, willing to go to counseling, willing to rebuild intimacy slowly, that's a very different situation than someone already halfway out the door. For those couples, what usually helps is not more flowers, but more truth. Naming the elephant in the room. We're both aging. We're both scared. We both feel like we missed out on something. Then building a shared future that feels alive. New projects, new adventures, new ways of being man and woman together, instead of just roommates running a daycare. But that only works if both people are actually in the room. You can't drag someone back into a marriage they've already mentally exited. Final message to the man watching this. If your wife is in that 38 to 45 window and you're seeing pieces of this, breathe. You are not crazy for noticing what you're noticing. You are not weak for feeling what you're feeling. But you are responsible for how you respond. You can beg, chase, threaten, and lose yourself, trying to hold on to a version of her that doesn't exist anymore. Or you can stand up as a calm, grounded man who sees reality clearly, sets boundaries, protects his kids, and refuses to let someone else's panic define his whole life. Maybe she wakes up and chooses to grow with you. Maybe she walks away and tries to outrun time. Either way, you do not let this chapter turn you into a hollow, bitter shell of yourself. You learn the lessons, you rebuild your frame, and you remember this: a woman's midlife crisis can cost you a marriage. But if you handle it with clarity instead of chaos, it doesn't have to cost you your masculinity, your sanity, or your future. Protect your heart. Protect your kids. Protect your frame. The rest, you can rebuild.